A son of a village school teacher, Dhirubhai Ambani was born on a cold, wintry morning. His aunt named him Dheeraj Lal, the patient one. But Dheeraj Lal was anything but that. Dhirubhai's penchant for business came to the fore very early in life, when as a schoolboy he retailed oil to support his family. After his matriculation, family pressure compelled him to go to Aden, Yemen, and take up a job as a clerk at A. Bassi & Company. In 1955, he got married to Kokilaben, and in 1957, they were blessed with their first child, Mukesh. When Yemen became independent, Dhirubhai chose to return home. He took up a 500 square feet space on rent at the wholesale market district at Masjid Bandar and set up his first office in India, Reliance Commercial Corporation. And with Chamak Yarn, he struck gold. Soon he progressed from yarn trading to textiles and set up his first textile mill at Naroda. With this, a brand was born, Vimal. He was all set to change his fortune and that of India. With no one ready to help him, he turned to the public at large. His initial public offering of shares in 1977 was oversubscribed 7 times. It heralded the equity cult in India. Dhirubhai did what any good businessman would do, expand. In 1980, he set up a polyester filament yarn plant at Patal Ganga. In 1986, a paralytic stroke came as an impediment. But in a year's time, he defied all medical logic to be back on his feet, inspiring people from all walks of life. And soon in 1991, he set up a mega petrochemical complex at Hazira. Streamed in 1999, Jamnagar was the jewel in his crown. It became the world's largest grassroots refinery. KGT6 marked an entry into deep sea energy. I will make the price of a phone call less than that of a postcard. This pledge led to a telecom revolution. Karlo Dunya Mutti Mein. And the world at large noted and applauded the man. The Dean's Medal from the Wharton School, the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Economic Times, the Indian Entrepreneur of the 20th Century Award from FICCI, the BMC Civic Reception and Citation, the Man of the Century Award by the Governor of Maharashtra. In a span of 1 generation, Dhirubhai proved, if you can dream it, you can do it, and the legacy continues.
Hello. Yeah, everyone. Hope you might have enjoyed the video, and you can also write in the chat box what was the one thing which has inspired you most in the video, and you can also write down who is the one entrepreneur who inspires you from India. You can write down the name of the entrepreneur also. I'm Sandeep. I will be your facilitator for the session, and like I was your facilitator for the session in the previous session, and we'll be taking ahead our journey of getting into EMP and entrepreneurship, and we'll be getting more closer to finding out our idea and finding out the secret which Meenakshi, our mascot, has actually shared in the beginning. Yeah. So yeah, so the responses in the chat box, no? Yeah. So so we are going to talk about finding our purpose and idea. So basically what we are going to trying to establish in this session is that whenever you want to work upon your idea, basically it is the purpose of yourself, and that purpose actually leads you to work full time. That purpose actually helps you to dream more. That purpose actually makes you motivated enough so that you're not feeling tired also, even if you're working on 24 hours, and many times you are also failing on those things, but still you're continuing with that, enjoying that phase actually. Purpose and idea basically are interconnected, but there is a bit of journey in between, how you can identify your purpose and how you can get into an idea basically. So we are going to talk about your purpose. We are also going to talk about how you can find out your purpose. We are going to talk about how you can fit your purpose into an idea basically. So before we proceed with the next slides, I'm also requesting that there are a lot of students who are joining in group, and then they are looking all these sessions through an PowerPoint, and they are basically looking they are getting into all these sessions through projectors basically. So I'm requesting all the facilitators who are actually technically holding the whole session, and who are taking the responsibility of the class to be part of this session. Please ask students to be ready with a pen and paper, because we'll be needing that for all the exercises today. Also, I'm requesting, if there are any questions, any query which they have, you can write in the chat box, which can directly come to me, and I can answer them also. So let us our mass gathering in a class through a projector not be a hindrance in the process and of one-to-one communication. Yeah, because that is very important. So I hope all of you, I'm taking a seconds, all of you will go around and a piece of pen and paper, and many of you might be having that already actually. But I'm assuring that after an hour of this session, you're going to thoroughly enjoy whatever we have done and whatever we have created from inside, and you will be also surprised also with that. Yeah, like Meenakshi. Yeah. So the whole course content will for this session actually looks like we are going to introduce Meenakshi again to you. We are also going to find out our idea, and we are going to get into discussion and concluding our learning. Yeah. So again, I'm telling you about Meenakshi. Meenakshi is 19-year-old. She's a resident of Khammam district. She's eager to start something of her own, and she also wants to be financially independent also. She's also an active participant of our EMP program like you, and she's getting on to her journey of entrepreneurship. Also, we are going to establish that everyone has a distinct personality, and we also need to identify your distinct personality also. So like Meenakshi has introduced herself, let us introduce yourself also. So I'm asking all of you to get onto the chat box and write down what are your names actually. So let us just know the names of the participants. You can write down in the chat box. Yeah. Yeah, Satvika, I will be needing the chats directly to me so that I can proceed with the session. Okay. So write down your names. That is the first thing we are going to start with today. Write down your age. What is your age? And how old are you basically? And now this is interesting. Which kind of flower or vegetable you are like, and why you are like that? So for example, if I say about myself, my name is Sandeep. I am 37-year-old, and I'm like tomato because I think tomato is, and I'm like tomato because tomato is something which is mostly needed by all kind of vegetables and charts and a lot of other things also. So tomato is one of the most essential things which adds a lot of flavor to the other things and which actually twists everything. So I'm like tomato because of that.
You can share about that.
And you are studying in. Thank you, Almeri ji. Now I am getting the responses. Ye, Nandini, Tanmay, Dhamera, all of you are, many of you are very young, like 19 years, 21 and 22 years old. I'm also eager to listen what kind of flower or vegetable you are and why you are like that. Like I have said that I am like in tomato basically. And you are studying in which course? Priya is sharing that she is like a flower. And Shireen has shared that in your like I'm like jasmine flower, but like jasmine flower, please share that as well. Yeah. So let us have at least one response and then we'll. Priya has shared that she is like a flower. Which kind of flower and why you are like that? Yeah. So people are sharing that they are like rose because it's always so cute. Swati has shared. Thank you so much, Swati, for sharing that. And we'll take one more. Uh, we'll take one more. I am Bisa Bhargavi. I'm 20 years old. I'm like a flower, and I'm doing BCom Business Analytics. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing.
And somebody has shared, Nikhil has shared that she is like a brinjal actually. But why brinjal? You should have shared that as well. That would have been interesting. So let us start with why of why you want to get into entrepreneurship. So for Meenakshi, our co-voyager in the whole journey, she is basically uh, student in the afternoon, but also she takes care of cooking and other things in the house in the morning. Uh, she is in the evening, and then she again cooks and study in the evening. So there's a lot of free time she has around in the evening, and that is something which she wants to uh, utilize. For her, that is her why. For finding out your why, so there has to be a personal and professional reason behind why you want to start something of your own. So I'm asking you questions one by one.
And you can write down. You can answer me in either yes or no whether this personal call applies to you also to start something of your own. So I'm repeating. And out of that, one of the major reason was that she has a lot of free time in the evening and she wants to be on her own. But let us find out for other people also that why you want to start something of your own basically. So Anjum is sharing that I'm 18 years old. I feel like I'm a moon because I'm pretty confident that I can survive this world with full of conspiracies. I'm studying in BCom. Okay. Thank you so much, Anjum, for sharing this. Yeah. So I'm asking you the questions that what are the personal reasons which makes you feel that you want to start something of your own, and then we'll get into the professional reasons also. For our co-voyager Meenakshi, it was
that she wants to be on her own and she wants to take care of her free time also. Yeah. So does this personal reason applies to you also to start something of your own? That you want to utilize your free time for an existing idea or concept. Does this reason applies to you? You can write down yes or no in the chat box. And other people who are joining through projectors, please you can write down and you can discuss within yourself also all these questions so that it is helpful to you.
does this applies to you that you want to utilize your free time so that you can work upon any existing idea or concept? You can write down yes or no to this. That this is the reason I want to start something of our own. second reason can be, are you bothered about any social issue and you want to resolve them? Does this thing applies to you? Does this can be the reason that you want to start something of your own? You can write down in the chat box yes, and you can write down what are the social issues you want to work upon. The third reason can be, you want to experience what it takes to think on any entrepreneurial idea. You want to have that adventure and any experience, so that it helps you to think on that what it takes to be working on an entrepreneurial idea. This can be another thing. You might be inspired by someone who's doing something of his or own. You can write down the name, and you can let us know also in the chat box that
who's the person who actually has inspired you. The another reason can be you want to remain in your home location and you want to do something. You don't want to move out. That can be a very simple and very powerful reason as well. That entrepreneurship gives you that kind of thing.
Another reason can be you have to support your family. The another reason can be there is a family business and enterprise to it, and you want to work upon that. The another reason can be that you dream of being an entrepreneur or businessman. This is just a dream around that, and you want to actually pursue that dream. And another reason can be you want to get into learning. You just want to learn the whole process actually. Yeah. So whatever applies to you, you can write down in the chat box and you can share with us, because it's very important before you get into any kind of entrepreneurial journey to at least take a pause and think upon what are the personal professional reasons these are making you to get into entrepreneurship. Like Sunny's sharing, for me, the dancer Sudha Chandan is my favorite motivation person in me. So she might have inspired her in her own ways. Yeah, yeah. And Nikhil is sharing that Gearhead Motor founder Mansikana Shiva Gold P Ganesh. Basically, this is one of the person behind his inspiration. Yeah. If you have anything also which you feel that these are the personal reasons that are making actually you to get into entrepreneurship, you can mention them as well. But it's very, very important to take a pause of 5 to 10 minutes whenever you are getting into starting of your own journey. So right now we are taking a small pause and we are finding out reasons, personal and professional reasons behind. That gives you a lot of clarity. These are very simple things to think upon, but these are very powerful things to stop and think upon. They give you a lot of clarity. The professional reasons can be you want to be on your own. Does this applies to you? Whether you want to, when you want to get into entrepreneurship or you want to get into any kind of ideation for entrepreneurship, you actually want to be on your own. That is a professional reason. That's why you want to get into that. The another reason can be you're good at some skills and you feel that they have a market for that. This can be another reason for you. You can write down these things in the chat box if these things applies to you. You can write down the skills also. You can write down why you want to be on your own also. You want to learn more by doing something on ground, because there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of scope of learning things when you are actually doing something on ground. So that thrill is also there, no? And then a lot of experience which you get with that actually. You want to develop something on your own. The another reason can be you don't want to get into a job. So a mundane 10 to 5 job or any kind of job does not apply to you. You want to have a prior experience of doing something on your own. You want to expand your family business. That can be the another reason also. You have already been working on some idea. So that can be the another reason for that. Yeah. So and there can be another reasons also, professional reasons, which might have inspired you, which might have pushed you to start something of your own. You can share that as well. But it's very important, I'm sharing that and emphasizing that again, that it's very important to take a pause and think upon what are the personal and professional reasons which actually makes you to think upon why you want to get into entrepreneurship. Now we have got a clear idea about like what is business, what is entrepreneurship. we have gotten clear idea. Meenakshi, our co-voyager, has actually gotten clear idea about what are her personal and professional reasons that is making her to get into entrepreneurship. So now she is asking again her mentor, Bala sir,
who himself is an entrepreneur basically. So how she can actually get into an entrepreneurship idea. So now she is being supported and helped by Bala sir, that how she can get into something which is of her heart and soul.
So we are going to talk about like how Bala sir is sharing there is a so secret will revealed in the slide. How many of you are aware about a concept called Ikigai? You can write down in the chat box yes or no. So Bala sir is going to share our co-voyager Meenakshi
A concept called Ikigai, which is going to help her out to get into an ideation mode. How many of you are aware about Ikigai? You can write down yes or no in the chat box.
or you can write down yes, I am aware or I am not aware. There is a concept called Ikigai which is going to be introduced and will be supported to Meenakshi so that she can get on her idea. So how many of you are aware of an idea called Ikigai? Concept called Ikigai. There are mostly people saying no, that they are not aware about the Ikigai. How many of you excited? What is Ikigai? I don't know about that. Even I was also, when I came to know about but close to your entrepreneurial training. And you are also going to enjoy it as well. My voice is repeating. So I'm repeating. So the concept called that, and actually help you from the perspective of and get and all. Yeah. So basically now I'm going to introduce the concept Ikigai. So there was a lady from Japan. So this Ikigai concept basically came from a country called Japan, and so that lady was actually seriously ill, and that lady was not only ill, and she was also bedridden as well, and she was into a very bad
Situation of her life, and she was struggling actually at that point of time life. And fine day, she got completely well, and a lot of people came to visit her. So I'm repeating, there was a lady in Japan. She was bedridden and she was not well, and she was bedridden for many years. So one fine day, she got completely well. So a lot of people start coming to ask her that my voice is not audible.
I hope my voice is audible now. Anybody me that?
You're audible, Sandeep. There is a breakage in the voice, so it's like some kind of disturbance that is there. So just check your audio if there is anything.
Acha, okay, okay. But right
Thank
now,
you.
am I audible?
Yes, yes. Now you're clear.
Okay, 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 okay. I'm so sorry for this. Yeah. So I'm repeat. Thank you so much for confirming this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Russia. Sorry, Russia. Yeah. So I'm repeating the whole journey of a concept called Ikigai. So there was this concept has come from a Japan. So there was a lady who was old and was bedridden, and she was not doing well, and she was bedridden for many years. So one fine day, on the next day itself, she got completely well, and a lot of people start
Coming her and asking her like why she got well complete all of a sudden. So then she started sharing her that she got a dream, and that dream was about a person, somebody, a very mysterious person came to her and asked her that if you can tell me a very simple question, and if you can give me an answer to the simple question about self, sorry, so you will be all well, and I will give you a blessing and you will be all well. So a lot of then people were very more curious, and then they started asking her what was that question about. So then she told her that I was asked that who she was. So then she said that I was not able to answer that in the beginning, but at one point of time I was able to answer that. So people got further curious. She was able to answer herself from such a very bad situation of her life. So then she said it was little tough for me also, and it might be tough for you also. So the question when she was who she was, so she said that I am actually a old lady. So then the person, the mysterious person said, I'm not asking you what you did. You have to tell me who you. She told her that I am a teacher. That's not about your profession. You have to tell me who you are. Then she shared that I am a grandmother also, but I am also mother to 4 children. So then he said, no, I am not asking about your roles in the society or as a mother. I am asking you who you are. So she shared finally the answer that I am a person who loves to take care of other people and serve others. So then she was provided with the blessing, and this whole concept was termed as Ikigai. So in Japan, it is a saying that if you have your purpose of life, if you know that who you are, in that case, you will be living happily throughout. And then this concept was basically converted into a lot of aspects of life. And this was customized into a version which can help you to get into an entrepreneurship idea, because somewhere entrepreneurship is also very much connected to your purpose of life, your being in the world actually. I hope I am little clear now, Viriji. Am I audible? No, I'm little worried.
Can somebody confirm me? Afrika, Ajmeri? Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. So now we are going to dive into this whole process. Now that old lady who are actually being curious and who are being little unsure about that what we want to be in our life. So we are going to travel journey in just 35 minutes.
So if you do Ikigai, if you want to share something about this whole concept called Ikigai, you can share that as well, and you can ask any question also before we proceed in the chat box. Other people who are signing through projectors, please ask your facilitator to put questions on your behalf, or you can discuss within yourself.
These are basically into a consult ikigai. So the first quadrant says that you have to answer within yourself what are the things which you love. Then the second quadrant says you have to answer what are the things which you're good at. And if you're good at something and if you love something also, that is your passion. So I'm also a little bit good at, so that can be my passion. If I want to, in that case, I have to find out what I am good at and what I can be paid for also. So voice is breaking. There's some problem with internet basically. Yeah. Am I audible again, Adveriji? Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm so sorry for this technical glitch. Yeah. So we were on basically what are the things which you love, what are the things which you are good at, what are the things world needs, and what are the things which you can pay for also. So if you get into all these things, you get cumulative of all those things, you can get into your ikigai.
But there are also subsets to it. So when you find out what you love and what the world needs, you find your mission. So for example, I love cooking, and if I say that world also needs a lot of good cook, so then that can be my mission also. And if I say that what the world needs is cooking, and I can be also paid for that, so that can be become my vocation. So cooking can be my vocation if I can be paid for that. So it has to be cumulative of all these factors basically. So let us understand this further, this whole concept from a very simple comic. I loved that comic actually, and I felt that this is actually telling about this concept in a very simple and very crisp manner. So there is a girl, and the girl is saying that I slept and dreamed that life was. So the girl is sharing that I slept and that life was joy. Then she shared that I awoke and saw that was service. So she is also holding a samosa in her hand, and then she went to her friend and she shared that I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke up and saw that life was this, and I acted and behold. So the service was joy, but I started acting on that, and then she started selling samosas also. And there are a lot of people lining up that because she has found out her purpose, which was to serve people with joy, and that she can do with samosa basically, samosas. So that was her ikigai basically. So such a beautiful and simple concept, and that was put into a very heartfelt mode. Yeah. So Pujita is sharing that passion is love, profession is good, mission need, and all that. Yes, everything is very well connected, Pujita.
So can you guess now? Can you guess about these website ideas and what can be their ikigai? Ajuba, please write down in the chat box. are their ikigai basically? Or people who are joining with projectors, they can ask the facilitator to write, and you can write in the chat box. For Ajuba, what can be their ikigai? Write down in the chat box. Sampurna, what can be the ikigai, which is basically a waste management company. These were the examples which we have taken a first session also. So that's why I'm again taking these examples to get them connected to a concept called ikigai. For Mahila Graha Udyog Cooperative Limited, we have seen the Lijat Papad video also. What can be their ikigai? For Medic Mobile, what can be, which is a technology based company which actually helps the healthcare worker with technology, what can be their ikigai? For RK Pagdiwala, which is a Pagdi tying company, what can be their ikigai? If anyone can mention in they can mention in the chat box. Here are the answers. For Ajuba, basically the service of warmth, the warmth which can be provided by grants, that is their actually ikigai. So it is not just the product which they are actually sharing. Basically, voice is disconnecting a lot. What to do here?
So let's see if, like, are you using some device, some headphones, microphones, anything?
Yeah, let me check that. Yeah, just a second.
Yeah. Check once, yeah. Okay, thanks.
This is again or what, Satvika?
Yes, it's better. It's better. Please continue.
Okay. So when we are sharing about Ajuba, basically Ajuba is not just selling the basically selling even grandparents. When we are talking about Medic Mobile is not just sharing the technology to the health worker. Basically, just providing not just giving the giving a skill of a early time, but they are also giving a service of celebrations.
For Sampurna, their service is cleanliness. For Mahila Graduates, their service was women empowerment. For them, that was government other things. We are going to talk about other. The voice is still breaking. I'm sorry.
Is it better now if I'm not switching on the video?
Yeah.
So I will I will keep on switching off my video so that it is little better. No, yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for this. Yeah, okay. I hope we can make it more interactive with the voice only. So let us just imagine as I'm speaking in front of you with my voice only. So basically, these are the things what we were sharing, that these are not just the product being sold, but these are something which are related to their heart and soul. And their heart and soul was warmth of giving parents, providing service with ease, making celebrations more comfortable and more live, cleanliness and women empowerment. We are talking about all this. We are also talking about a lot of entrepreneurship and people around them. So let us get into little detail about an enterprise, which we have learned about in the previous session about Sampurna. I hope you are going to enjoy this video. Yeah.
My name is Jan. I'm one of the co-founders and directors of Sampurnath. We started working on Sampurnath about 3.5 years ago.
Sampurn means complete, and earth signifies money as well as meaning. And when we add a E to it, it also signifies the planet.
As an organization, what we are trying to do is we are trying to provide waste management solutions to bulk waste generators. It can be a corporate house, it can be a township, it can be an educational campus. So what we do is we try to process the waste in the most environment friendly manner. We encourage recycling, composting, biogas plants, and at the end of the day, what we come out with is a zero waste situation.
संपूर्णार्थ में ये कचरा लेके घर घर से कलेक्शन करके उधर से कचरा लाके फिर ये सेग्रेगेशन करके खाद बनाते हैं.
The residents, were initially very reluctant. They didn't want to actually go through with the whole process of having 2 separate bags and segregating food right at source and all that. But gradually, I think it took almost 6 months, even before we contacted Sampurna, to get them to the idea.
Sampurna, we definitely have certain targets for our company, like we should process 500 to 1,000 metric tons a day. In the next few years, we should employ more than 1,000 waste pickers in our operations. But at the same time, we want to evolve as a company who would play a crucial role in changing the perspective waste management has been seen.
The DBST program has helped us to move from one step to next step. So every time we had certain challenge in last 2 years, every step they have helped us to move to the next step. Even now, kind of, we are at a much advanced stage in for a startup. Even there, kind of whatever support we need, they have always been open to help us.
Thank you, Satvika, for running this. Yeah. I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's also something very close to us because these are also people from my course also. I have studied in the same college and same course. Can you tell me what is the ikigai of Sampurnath? We have just seen the video. So if you would like to share, like, what is the ikigai of Sampurnath?
Whatever comes to your mind. We have just learnt about a concept called ikigai, and we have seen a video also of an entrepreneur. So what do you think? What are their ikigai? You can answer multiple options also in that. For them, what is their ikigai? What is their purpose of life? What is their reason of being?
You can write down in the chat box also. You can discuss within yourself also. Those people who are logging in with projectors, they can also share within themselves, and they can ask facilitators to put things on the chat box also. So whenever it comes to your mind, you can write down in the chat box that what do you feel, that what is ikigai for Sampurnath. So basically, for them, if we get into all these 4 questions, so the first question which we need to answer is what they love as per ikigai. The second question they have to answer is what they were good at. The third question which they have to answer is what was in need, and the fourth question which they have to answer is
what can be sold off. So for Sampurnath, it was speaking to people, solving a problem is all that they love. But what they were good at, understanding of the waste. And what was the world need? That only the understanding of the waste cannot help, but what world needed was the waste segregation unit and a zeal to it and a process to it. And what can be sold? A solution to the waste can be sold. So that way, Sampurnath was able to come to their ikigai, and that way, R.K. Pagdiwala, Ajuba, and Jaswanti Vain was also able to come out of it. For example, in case of R.K. Pagdiwala, they were able to understand the fabrics, music, dance. This is something they love. But what they were skilled at, they were skilled at tying pagdi and dance and music. What was the world which was in need? They wanted to have a structured service of pagdi, and what they could sell off is a good time service of pagdi on time. So that was something they were able to sell off. So similarly, what we are going to do now we have to find out our ikigai. I hope I'm taking a pause of 10 seconds. Are you having a piece of pen and paper with yourself? You can answer yes or no in the chat box. I'm requesting again to all the participants to have a piece of pen and paper with yourself.
Do you have a piece of pen and paper with yourself? You can write down yes or no. Or even a mobile will do, but you should be able to write it down. You have something to write down. Please give me some responses in yes or no. Okay, people are sharing yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the first question which we have to answer for ourselves, Ujakta Kumari, Fahimida Begum, they all have shared that they have that. So thank you so much for that. So the first question which we have to answer is what we love. So what you need to answer is that what do you love most within yourself?
So for this, you can think upon the questions like, what are the things which you spend most time doing? What are the things which you cannot live without trouble? What are the things which troubles you? What you have learned as a hobby or a curiosity? So I'm repeating, we have to answer 4 questions for finding out our ikigai. We have to answer what does we love. We have to answer what we are skilled at. We have to answer what does world needs. We also have to answer what can be sold off. So we are going to take upon the first part, what does we love. So you have to write down what actually you love doing. So for this, there are some questions which are assisting questions. What are the things which you spend most time doing? What are the things which you cannot live without? What are the things which troubles you most? You can answer these, and these can bring you closer to the answer of what do you love most. Also, what are the things you have learned as your hobby or curiosity? So some people can share me your love, like what do you actually love doing? in your life? Please take out some time and think upon it and answer it.
The first question is, what do you love doing? The assistant question are that what are the things which you spend most time doing, what you cannot live without, what are the things which what you have learned as your hobby or curiosity. You can answer these questions, and these questions will take you to nearer to the answer of what do you love most. So let us have some responses from the participants. Wonderful. Fahimida Begum is sharing that she loves teaching. You can answer more, Fahimida. What are the other things which you spend time doing? It is not just the teaching you might be doing, no, alone. You might be doing a lot of other things also. So you can mention those as well, Fahimida.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
I'm repeating, you have to answer what are the first question out of 4 questions which we have to answer to get closer to our Ikigai. The first question is, what do you love most? Shadan Tabusham is sharing that she loves gardening. What are the other, thank you so much for sharing that. But what are the other things you do
in your 24 hours of day? What are the things which you cannot live without? What are the things which troubles you? What are the things which you have learned as a hobby or curiosity? You can share that as well. Adita is sharing, I love hard work, sir. But what in hard work? What do you like doing that?
So I hope Meenakshi will be able to help you out more with this. So Meenakshi is sharing that she loves doing studying, cooking, house cleaning, and you. So Meenakshi sharing that she loves studying, cooking, house cleaning, doodling, sketching, mobile. She loves to be on mobile, studying, drawing, worrying about not being able to give time to sketching, singing, dancing, cleaning, CAD design, and studies. So so a lot of people are sharing they love gardening. They love sharing Islamic thoughts. Omdut is sharing that
he loves talking to grandmother about our culture and tradition. Wonderful. You can keep on adding more. So Maya Kausar is sharing that she loves studying, reading books, grasping the knowledge. Ishina is sharing loving nature. You can write down more. Like you can think upon what are the things which you spend most time doing. You can write down all those things. How does your 24-hour day look like? What are the most things which you do? What are the things which you cannot live without? And what are the things which you have learned as a hobby or a curiosity? You might have learned a lot of things in your college, in your home, and a lot of other areas. So you can write down all those things.
Navneeta is sharing, I love making toys with mud, which makes me happy. Wonderful, wonderful. I love to play the chess. Ojashwini is sharing. So now what we have to do is, we have to identify out of all those things which we love, what are the things which we are skilled at. So for example, in case of Meenakshi, it was that she loves studying, cooking, house cleaning, doodling, sketching, mobile, studying, and all that.
But out of that, we have to answer the second question, that out of all those things which you love, what are the things which you are skilled at also?
Out of all those things which you love, what are the things which you are skilled as well? Out of those things which you love also. So in case of Meenakshi, it was studying, sketching, CAD design, and studies. These are the things which she loves also, and these are the things which she is skilled also. So can you share me your Ikigai second question also? What are the things which you love, and out of that, all those things which you love, what are the things you are skilled at also? If you can share me that as well. You're confident, you feel that you can do those things wonderfully also. So these are the things, these are not only loved by you, but these are the things which you are skilled at also. So this is the second question to the Ikigai. So for getting on to the second question of Ikigai, you have to first mention all of the things which you love, and out of that you have to identify what are the things which you love also and you are skilled also. Yes, Swarnapriya is sharing, Shweta is sharing, but you are also majorly sharing about the first question. Now what we have to get into the second question, that of Ikigai, out of all the four questions, that out of all those things which you love, what are the some of the things which you are skilled at also? Sharing that I love spending time with books and friends, but out of that, what are the things which you are skilled at? These are not the things which you might be spending. You might have learned also something else also. So you have to write down that also. So Maya is sharing Mehndi designing as well as teaching. Okay. I like to write skilled at also. Okay. Okay. Now we are getting into the third question of Ikigai, the second last question. I love to dance and Mehndi, and I also skilled at doing things. Very good. Very nice. So now we get on to the third question. Lovely, lovely. Nabila sharing, I love to, and I'm skilled at writing and spending time with others. Okay, lovely. So now we are getting into the third question. The first question is, what are the, mention you have to all the things which you love. The second question is, what are the things you are skilled at? And the third question is, what is, does the world needs? So out of all those things which you love, you have to mention out of all those things which you are skilled at also. But out of all those things you are skilled at also, these are some of the things which are needed by the world also. So you also need to mention that as well. I'm repeating. Now we are getting into the third question of Ikigai, the second last question of the Ikigai. You have to find out all of the things which you love. Out of that, you have to identify what are the things which you are skilled at. Out of that, what do you love and skilled also? You have to identify what are the things which world needs also. For example, Gornlata Shire sharing, I'm good and skilled at doing artwork. Okay. But do you think that artwork is needed by the world also? If that is the answer, you can go ahead with that. Madhu sharing that I love driving, listening music, but I'm skilled in driving. So do you feel that world needs lot many drivers? So you can proceed with that answer actually. Nahin is sharing that I love to speak and I'm skilled at it too. So do you feel that this world need a lot of speakers? World need a lot of people to share their voices ahead? Do you feel that there is a need for that? In case of Meenakshi, these are some of the things which she spend most time doing also. She is good at also, and people need them too also. So these are the things which she has mentioned: cooking, house cleaning, sketching, cat design, and studies. So out of all the things which she loved, and out of all those things which she loved and she is skilled at also, and out of all those things she loved, skilled, and she has identified what are the things which world needs also. And these are some of the things which she has come up with. So in your case, what can be those things? Since you have shared a lot of things around what do you love and what are the things which you are skilled at also. I hope I will be well with the video also. Now, this might be little, might take little time, but this is going to really overwhelm you, and this is also going to help you a lot. Now, I'm asking, you have mentioned and you have listed what are the things which you love. Out of that, you have mentioned what are the things you love and you are skilled at also. And out of that, you have to mention what are the things you love, skilled at, and what are the things which world needs also.
So do you feel, Shaheen, that world need more speakers? Do you feel, Abila Kausar, that world need more and more good baker also? Do you feel, Gonalata Shreya, that world need a lot of hard worker? Ajushwini, do you feel that world need a lot of dancer and mehndi maker also? Do you feel that? So you have to fit your things into the concept called what does the world need?
Also, so the things you should love, things you love, things you are skilled at also, and things which are needed by world also. You can mention all those things. You can write down in the chat box. Other people who are joining with the projectors, they can write down in the piece of paper and pen. Yes. So Shadant Abusham is sharing, I am skilled at teaching, and I think for the upcoming generation, there should be a guide and teacher to show them correct path. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Siddhagiri Shweta is sharing, I love to dance, agriculture, cooking, and I am skilled in agriculture field. Wonderful, wonderful. Do you feel that a lot of world needs a lot of agriculturists? Wonderful, wonderful, Shweta. Very few female members are there who are voicing out their voice in the agriculture sector. Otherwise, they are working, but the voices are very less. Nabila Shireen, I like speaking, but I was skilled in skills Pathakoti. Okay, wonderful. This is something traditional probably. I love reading and skilled at too. World needs that understatement. Okay, lovely. I see a lot of participation from women. I'm seeing a very few participation from men with whatever limited screen responses I'm seeing. So I think girls are always ahead probably. Now we are going into the last thing. So we have mentioned, now I'm taking a small pause and look at all these icons. The first thing which we have mentioned was what are the things which we love most. The second thing which we mentioned was what are the things which we love and skilled at also. The third thing which we mentioned was what are the things which we love, skilled, and needed by world also. But the fourth thing which we have to figure out is what are the things which it can be sold also. This is the fourth thing you have to fit in. Then only you will come to your ikigai, an idea of your enterprise. For Meenakshi, for her it is drawing. Drawing or sketching is something which she feels that is her ikigai. That is something which she loves also. That is something which she is also skilled at. That is also something which is needed by world. That is also something which she feels that can be sold also. So for her, drawing or sketching is something for that. So Nabila Shireen is sharing, I love in the chat box that I love speaking, but I was skilled in anchoring. Okay, but do you feel that world needs a lot of anchor and you can make money out of it? Ojashwini has again shared that I love cooking, mehndi, dance, and I skilled at mehndi and cooking. World needs it a cook and mehndi designer. Wonderful, wonderful. But do you feel that you can sell these skills also, Ojashwini? Mina Haspina is sharing that I am skilled at good teaching skills, so I want to be a better teacher. But do you feel that world needs more teacher? Do you feel from inside that you can sell your skill as a teacher and you can find your ikigai with that? So if that is the case, you can find your ikigai. How many of you have found your ikigai? You can write down yes or no in the chat box. Yeah, Swati has shared that I am a dancer, sir. Okay, so Swati has found her ikigai as a dancer. So you can share and celebrate finding your ikigai basically. Although it can be a lifelong process, but we are just trying to find out all these things in just 1.5 hour session.
So also be a little more lenient to yourself, and I'm sure that you're going to do a lot more assignments around that, so that you can get more closer to it, because it takes a lot of time and energy to understand this concept. But once you're able to do it and thorough with it, you will love doing that, and you will be getting very, very closer to your heart and soul, like the way Meenakshi has gone closer to it. So one person, Miss Swati, has shared that her ikigai is dance, being a dancer. So what are a lot of other people ikigai? I'm eagerly looking forward to that.
Induja shared, yes sir. Pujita, it will be great if you can share what are your ikigai basically. Yeah. So in the meantime, we are welcoming questions. If you have any questions, and so like Meenakshi sharing that her ikigai is sketching and drawing. We are welcoming questions and doubts, and we will be happy to have your reflections also. In the meantime, I'm inviting Satvika. Satvika, if you can switch on your audio.
Yes, indeed. I remember.
So I also wanted to hear from you, how was your feeling when you got first introduced to the concept called ikigai?
I was a little surprised, but yes, of course. I mean, this was the ikigai is like one of the concepts which you can actually, you can reflect upon your own strengths and weaknesses. And then we talk about how do we explore an idea. I mean, if ever you see where the journey of an entrepreneur begins from, I think it starts from self. So it is very important. I mean, this concept in general is very important to reflect upon your qualities, your strengths, and how you can leverage those to, build your idea, or maybe, solve a problem, say, in the society, or maybe come up with an innovative solution. So this is a very interesting concept. Even I have tried it. It is actually helpful. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you so much. So are we wrapping up with the session now?
Yeah, Satvika, just wanted to celebrate some more ikigais. So Navneeta has shared that she is a toy maker and she likes writing story, and she has boldly written that this can be sold also.
Amazing.
So as Shada and Jakusham is sharing some more celebrations here, that she loves gardening, and through gardening the flowers can be sold. She's pretty confident on that. So yeah. So there is a question that who is the founder of Sampurna? There are 3 founders basically: Jayant Nataraju, Ritvik, and Devartha Banerjee. So there are a lot of ikigais coming in, and there's a lot of excitement around. So I'm glad that this has come up and this was helpful. Yeah.
Thank you. So I request all the participants to keep up their excitement, because we have 3 experts coming in for the education and skill development expert talk. Is there any other questions that are coming in, Ajmeri? I see a lot of the participants enjoy hobbies like dance and games. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see some creators around it.
Yeah, so just wanted to share around. There was one lady, I'm forgetting the name. She was at Mehendi. She took up that tool of skilling a lot of underprivileged women, especially women of different faith, who can do Mehendi. Other tool to be introduced to the women and celebrations of other faith. So that was something which was celebrated by her, and that was used by her. So nothing like that. So thank you so much everyone here for, and a big round of applause for those people who worked upon your ikigai and for the celebrations. You can make you get into celebration if you have found out your ikigai. And I'm requesting again, please get onto your assignments and spend some time on that so that you can get into your ikigai. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you so much. So good afternoon and again. Today we are privileged to have with us three who are entrepreneurs in the education sector. They have been instrumental in shaping the landscape and have revolutionized the way we approach teaching and learning. They have found successful companies that have impacted the lives of countless students and educators. As we gather their experiences and insights, I'm reminded of the words of the great American inventor Thomas Edison, who once said, "I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These words are a testament to the grit and determination that is needed to succeed in any entrepreneurial venture, and I believe our speakers embody these qualities. Through their innovative ideas and unwavering dedication, they have overcome numerous challenges and obstacles and have established themselves in education industry. Today, they are here to share their wisdom and knowledge with us, that we will all leave this event with valuable insights and inspiration to pursue our lives. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming our esteemed speaker. First, we have Mrs. Gauri Mahesh. She is the co-founder at Learning Matters, education professional. She has been in education business management, training and development, K-12 and higher ed digital content management for more than 25. Mrs. Gauri has completed the general management program from IIM Kozhikode, Science and Information Technology from Karnataka State Open University. She is instrumental and implementation of TARA, which is a communicative English program that is part of intelligence and voice technology and uses the LSRW conversational mode literacy skills. Let's hear it from Mrs. Gauri about her journey in the education. In addition to this, she'll also be talking about fundraising, which indeed is one of the aspects of entrepreneurship and one where we often get stuck. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Satvika. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. So do you want me to present the slide right away, or would you like to go through your journey first?
Sure, anything is okay, Satvika. You could bring the slides up, so it's probably interesting for people to see the first picture. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to meet all of you on this platform. Thank you, Satvika and team, for having me over here. The next probably 12 to 14 minutes, I'm going to share my journey as an entrepreneur here at Learning Matters and what have we achieved so far, and very specifically focus on the fun part of the fundraising that we've been doing, because this is something that every entrepreneur is always very worried about. I was just listening into the Ikigai session, and it was very interesting to see how each one of you have found an idea that can definitely work and probably be commercially viable as well. And as we go through this kind of journey where we find an idea, we develop that, and then we tend to start making business, we make money, but then we don't make enough money to be able to grow, and that's when we start raising funds. So from that point of view, and share some interesting incidents, interesting happenings at Learning Matters and how we did our fundraising. But before that, a quick peek into what we do at Learning Matters. Satvika, if you can move to the next slide, or maybe if you can give me the control, I can browse too. Satvika? Satvika, am I audible? Satvika, am I audible? Okay, so Satvika, if I'm audible, can you please move to the next slide?
Yes, Corey, you're audible. I'm sorry, I had some network issues. So in the left corner, there is actions and yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, while the slide comes on, uh, at Learning Matters, we provide a virtual voice teacher in schools, especially where schools do not have the luxury of having a teacher to teach them in English. So typically, we work in schools that are in the tier 2 and tier 3 towns and villages in India. We are a for-profit organization, and we do have this solution as a commercial solution, and the schools pay us to use the solution. But then what we have been able to achieve is make the solution extremely affordable. So the solution works in schools that are in the remotest of villages, both in the private schools as well as the government schools. So the picture that you see over here is from one of our schools where class 5 boys are working with the Eco Dot device. The device that you see over here is a small Eco Dot device. It's a Alexa voice enabled device, and then they have books to go along with it, and the program is called Tara teaches them English in a very conversational style. So Tara asks them, talks to them about something, then asks them questions, she will ask them to respond, and then be able to evaluate their responses and give a feedback. And then there is an assessment that the students also take. And the entire program works for both a small group as well as a large group setting. It also has various levels. So even students in school, level 2, that of a vocational training institute, can actually make use of Tara. So this is what we set out to do, and building this was fun because we looked at voice as a very new technology. Not many organizations have really used this kind of technology to bring in this kind of solution into the schools, and working with the schools itself is challenging because then you're actually working with schools who have had no exposure to solutions like these. They're probably very new to technology. During COVID, it was definitely a very uphill task for us because schools shut, we were actually struggling to see, how will our customers adopt this technology, what will we do, and how will we make money. So that was what was there in COVID time. But then since the time schools have reopened, we've surged ahead and been in business quite steadily. Have been making, today we are in about 100 schools with more than about 45,000-50,000 students who have benefited from us. And apart from the schools, we are also in colleges and vocational training centers, taking the institution count to 230. So that's the kind of influence that we've had in the education landscape, looking at how we can improve the quality of education with English as a big enabler. So the when you go back to the Ikigai presentation, I'm just going to steal some moments from there. If looking at what we love to do as founders, we are three co-founders. We are very passionate about education, very passionate about technology in education. So if you look at it from that point of view, we just went ahead with what our hearts believe that we are very good at and what we just love doing. And we also looked at what is it that our customers require from the market, right? I mean, look at what kind of problems the schools face in India, especially where most of the education institutions are registered as English medium schools, but then very few of them have access to good English teachers. And hence students themselves are unable to speak in English. We look at that, there was a problem that needed to be solved. And where are customers willing to pay? Yes, I mean, look at us. We've almost we're on our path to profitability this year. So it very clearly proves that customers are ready to pay. If you were to go back and very quickly map our our journey as such. So we were founded in 2016. We're bootstrapped, which means whatever little money that we had from our savings is what we brought into the company. 2017, we started generating revenues, mainly from consulting projects, so that we will be able to push that money, the money that we earned, we pushed it back into the company to be able to build a product. I mean, that's one very, very clear way to get funded within the same company. So we did a lot of consulting projects in the same education space, and then put that money back into the company. Secured some investments in 2018 from our friends and family. Few rich uncles, aunts, probably some friends who believed in us, who believed that yes, this company will make a very, very, very impressive trend in the education space, and that's how they invested in us. 2019 up until 2021, we've had a lot of institutional investments, including one from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. So these are all funding that we received from external parties who invested in us, in our company for equity. And right from 2019 and until now, we continue to be expanding our business. We are already in about 7 states in India, and 2023, this year, is where we are gearing up for our pre-series A fundraise. So when you look at what is it, in terms of how difficult is it to raise funds, or how interesting it is to raise funds, yeah, it's both. It's absolutely an uphill task to raise funds for your company. At the same time, it's extremely interesting. But then how did we decide who to approach, and when to seek funds? The friends and family round, typically called the F&F round, we knew that yes, we are doing it right. The conviction that yes, the solution is working, the kind of impact that the solution was creating, and the fact that we had paying customers. All of these two were very, very critical factor. Until we got a sizable number of paying customers, we didn't ask anybody to invest money in our company. And then there is this particular factor of dilution. How much are we willing to dilute? So when we started the company, the 3 co-founders together held 100% of the company. And as you start seeking investments, you start diluting a portion of the company. So how much are you willing to dilute at every single point of time is what the 3 of us, put our heads together and decided. And based on that, how much we were ready to dilute is what we went and sought out. So this directly impacted the kind of the institutions that we were going to approach, the fund size that they have. I mean, do they fund smaller ticket sizes, or they do large ticket sizes? What kind of impact do they look at? So are they focused on impact? Because our solution is focusing a lot on it's like a socio-commercial enterprise. So are they interested in impact, or are they interested only on the IRR? So what is it that we are looking at in the investor? Will they help us scale? And of course, what kind of dilution are they expecting? So, these were the factors that we had to consider while we looked at who are we going to approach for funding. It's a complex task. I'm definitely not saying it was easy. We had to go through a list of about more than 1,000, or probably 1,500, 2,000 investors, reach out to a lot of them. The first time that we did it, it was like, okay, we just went ahead and asked everybody. But the second time we did it, we were much smarter. We knew who to go and ask. How do we, do the filters? How do we learned with our mistakes, right? So we knew who to go and ask, how much to ask, what to pitch, how to pitch, and how do you approach the right decision maker. So these were things that we learned along the way. And we also did one very interesting business vertical, which was the CSR, or the corporate social responsibility teams, which helped us get business as revenue into the company. So individual philanthropists who were willing to fund this kind of a solution in their schools, in their villages. We partnered with many NGOs, the non-governmental organizations, not-for-profit organizations. We picked up small projects. We didn't shy away from small projects. We said, absolutely, okay, we'll run a pilot and then we'll run it. But we always did it paid, no freebies. So we took that, and then we looked at, applying for a lot of competitions, like, the competitions that came from the Government of India itself. So these were all many avenues that helped us get into the CSR funds, which then brought in business. So when the money starts coming in, you start building the revenue line, as well as look at better valuation for the company when we looked at fundraising. So this is typically a game of, sometimes it's a game of wit, sometimes it's like, okay, who's going to win this? Are we going to get the right valuation that we want? Are we going to get is the investor coming in with the right amount of money? What's the color of the money that's coming in? Are we happy with it? What kind of value add can I expect from the investor? So these were things that were always running in our mind when we approached investors and looked at fundraising. And the best part in fundraising was in terms of meeting people. I do not know, I cannot remember the count of people I have met in the last 7 years, very specifically, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years. And every bit of the fundraising helped us validate our mission and celebrate our success every time. So that's essentially what happened with the fundraising part. And I will leave you with a thought here, which something that struck me and my co-founders and still does every single day, that we will never give up on something, that we can't go a day without thinking about it. Learning Matters is close to our hearts, close to our, it's a very, very big dream that we have, and we're looking at impacting at least 1 billion learners. That doesn't allow us to sleep. So that's something, that's how fundraising, every time fundraising is difficult, but then we say, no, that's where we are headed to. So that brings me to the end of this short presentation. I'm open to questions if Satvika, if you have any to ask.
Satvika is out, so I'm Ajmeri from Task, so I'll be with you.
Hi.
So I'll be taking the question if they are from the students and all. And because there was a merging happening in bilingual and English, few of our students were not able to, get the introduction part of the session. So can you just give a brief introduction on how it works? That's something that they missed. The initial part.
Sorry, how the fundraising works?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go back to this slide. Just, is it coming up on your screen, or is it still a blank screen for you?
No, yes, it is coming up.
Okay, so let's take a look at this particular slide. So the first thing was bootstrapping. So the founders, we put in our money, whatever savings we had, and we started the company. So when we started the company in 2016, the three of us, the three co-founders, held 100% of the company. From then on, when we moved to getting investments from friends and family members in 2018, which was after we had validated our project, our solution, and started generating revenues. We had paying customers, which is when we approached friends and family members saying, are you willing to invest in the company? So a lot of them came forward, and when they invested, obviously there was a dilution because there's 100% of the company, the whole pie, and then now we'll have to share it with some more people because they are bringing in their money. So we raised we were able to get a good valuation at that point in time. The company is valued at a particular number, and then from there on, the others were able to invest. So that's how we diluted our stakes, but had more investments coming in all the way until 2021. When even the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, an arm of Government of India, is also invested in Learning Matters. So they have various vehicles. We call them the vehicles of investment. So MeitY has a vehicle for investment into the company. So this is essentially what we did, and we are raising our pre-series A round now, which is every round of fundraise has a name. There's no major I mean, it goes by the size, and it's quite flexible. Some people call it pre-series A, some people call it series A, and then there is A, B, C, D, whatever. I mean, all the way you have 26 letters of the alphabet. You can just go ahead and call the series any name. But typically, the round size is what determines what is the series. So Ajmera, does this help?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I will now request the students if you have any questions. I think yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I didn't see much. responses. We'll wait for 2 minutes, ma'am, so that I can take up the questions, if
Sure.
there are any.
I'll also show up the next slide, which talks about what all we need to look at when we are fundraising. So this is typically the pointers that we do. The fund size, that is the size of the investment that will come from the institution. Are they focused on impact? What's the kind of scale, or the scaling that they will be able to help us with? And what is the dilution that they're seeking? That is, what is the percentage of the company do they want to hold in return for the investment that they're bringing in? So all these are factors that determine which investor can come into the company or not.
Okay. So there's one question: how do we look for investors? Do they approach us, or should we approach? Then, if we have to approach, then what would be the criteria of selecting whom to approach?
Sure. So there are multiple ways in which you can approach investors. One is, it again depends on the round size, as I said. So if this is the first time you're raising investment, then typically you will go with accelerators or incubators. They're all listed there. You can, you can register yourself with an accelerator or an incubator online, and then they will ask you to pitch your idea to them. You go for a pitch session. So we've done countless number of pitches before we can actually get through one investment. So you will pitch to an investor or a set of investors who listen to your idea. You can go and pitch at any stage. It can just be an idea. You'll probably not even have a prototype. It could just be an idea, and you would want somebody to come and put some money into it. At that stage, you are asking for very little money. You may not be asking for crores. You may probably be asking for a few lakhs. So, but then what will happen is, at that stage, because somebody is coming in with just, trusting your idea, they will want a larger stake in your company. So like I said, you will have to determine when you want to go for your investment. And you can search for these incubators and accelerators as the first step. Then there are various investors who are already available. All of them have a website where you can upload your pitch deck to them. And then they call you, they review your pitch deck, and then they call you to present. If they are satisfied with your pitch deck, then you can present. But what you'll have to understand is, what stage do they come in? Do they come in at an idea stage, or do they come in at a revenue stage, pre-revenue? Sometimes they ask for a specific number. If you don't have a revenue of, let's say, some of them say, okay, you should have a revenue of at least 7 crores, otherwise you can't apply. So you'll have to look at the criteria in each of these investors' site and then apply for that. If investors were seeking us, then it will be very nice. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen till you actually grow really big.
Correct. There is one more question from Babu. He says, ma'am, what is your valuation of business when you started for that of now?
Babu, I'm assuming you are asking how much has the company grown from the time we started to now. I presume that's what is your question. Okay, so I wouldn't be able to reveal the number as such, but then if you look at how many times have we grown, we would have grown at least by about 35 times from the time that we've done.
Yeah, and there's one asking for the meaning of bootstrapped.
Okay, bootstrapped is typically where you put in your own money. It's a very I do not know the etymology of that as to why is it called bootstrap. I probably forgotten long back as to why is it called that way, but then it's typically where you do not have anybody else supporting you. It's your own money that you're bringing into the company. It could be anything. Suppose you want to start a small shop, and you say, okay, to have the shop, I need some to pay the rent, to buy some supplies, to even have a notebook and write down the accounts, or buy a computer and start something. It could be that, or it could be something where you're doing your IT services. You need some servers, you need blah 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 to set something up and get started. That is what you put money in. where you have an idea and you want to start doing something more about it. I saw somebody said, okay, my drawing is my passion and I would like to make money out of it. So if you were to do an art gallery, then you will have to spend some money on that, right? Initially, what you'll have to do, that is bootstrapping. After some point in time, somebody funds you. That's the difference.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that was well answered to Truth. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us today. We now have our next speaker, so we will have to
Thank
move
you
on.
so much.
Thank you for your
Yes.
so much time, because funding is something very important in
Yes.
aspects of raising a business or an entrepreneurship. So thank you for your insights.
Thank you so much, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Next, we have Ms. Megha Gajela, who is a first generation and first time entrepreneur whose career's underlying theme has been learn by doing. She is co founder and COO at MentorMind. She did her MBA from ESSEC Business School, Singapore. Her expertise is in business strategy, leadership, and project management. MentorMind is an online platform where students and young professionals can access and work on real time work situations in the form of challenges. These challenges are procured in collaboration with organizations from various industrial and functional backgrounds. Let's hear it from her about her journey and contributions. Over to you, Ms. Megha. Megha?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Message Mary.
Thank you.
Great. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for that introduction, and I'm very excited to be here. Before I dive into what I do, I just want to share a few things about who we are and where basically I come from. I was born in Hyderabad, and I was raised by obviously my parents, but also my grandparents. So I got to see a lot of um, how what makes Hyderabad very special through their journeys. And Hyderabad has always been a very special place for me, primarily because um, I, yes, studied my engineering here. I came and I did my engineering, IT engineering from Gokaraju Rangaraju. But it also gave me the opportunity to meet so many different people. While I was in college, I was also a part of the youth run organization that helped me get an idea of how organizations work. I met a lot of people. I got to really learn about all things related to entrepreneurship, and it was my first taste of entrepreneurship. Um, right out of IT engineering, though I was good at it, I realized that it may not be something I enjoy, and I got an opportunity to work at Google for a short period of time in talent programs. And when I was working there, while it was a beautiful organization to work for, I also learned that it's not something I enjoyed, and we got to do that when I, experienced it. After that, I got a chance to work with state government in certain tribal areas and build career literacy through with the help of UNICEF, and deliver programs and games that will help 8th standard students, not discourage them, but could encourage them to continue to 9th standard and 10th standard and go into college. With that experience also in the bag, I went to do my master's at ESSEC, like ma'am has shared. And while I was at ESSEC, I got to work in a lot of organizations, uh, everything from a field like diversity and inclusion to management consulting. And all of these experiences showed me one thing, that while I was in college, the only way I could find out what kind of skills I needed, what fields I was interested in, skills those fields needed. I was only able to do it through actually trying out different projects and internships. And while working in different companies, I understood that companies are also looking for students who know what the field is like, have an idea or an understanding of what it is like before they go. If they might be studying marketing in your in your textbooks and in your classes, but what it is actually is very different in the real world. And because there was this gap between what students are studying and what I had gone through, while it was a very good theoretical foundation, it took me a lot of trial and error to gain the skills that I needed to gain to be corporate ready, to work in the real world. So that's when, while I was just about to graduate, I'd gotten an opportunity to stay back in Singapore and pursue management consulting. But it was when MentorMind was formalized. So we founded MentorMind in 2017, officially incorporated. And we built MentorMind with the simple aim that we want students anywhere, whether they are in Jammu or they are in Kanyakumari or in Hyderabad or maybe in Guntur or wherever, we wanted students to understand what happens in the corporate world before they join it. And MentorMind was that platform where, through virtual mentored work experience projects that are certified by companies, we wanted to bring the corporate experience to the students. So that idea materialized, the platform materialized, and I decided to move back to Hyderabad right after my master's instead of staying back in Singapore to pursue and build MentorMind right out of here. So all of like my childhood experiences and college experiences, college challenges, even in my master's, the challenges that I faced really helped me as an entrepreneur today. And that's one thing I hope you take back from this talk as I take you through what MentorMind does very quickly. I hope you always value every single experience that you have, because that's what is an entrepreneur's strength. They learn by and from experience. So on that note, Mr. Mary, can I share screen if that's okay?
On the plus button that you see there, addition button.
Right.
On your screen, is it available? Or you can share me over WhatsApp, I can upload it.
Sure, no problem. If there are questions the team would like to, the students would like to ask, even during this.
After one more talk.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Thank you.
They can share me the presentation so that I can upload it.
Sure, ma'am. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Ma'am, I'd be able to take the presentation, no problem. I hope everyone can view my screen.
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. So, wanting to simplify the problem that my co-founders and I started MentorMind for, right? Very simply, the kind of skills that students were gaining while they were studying, while it was good in theory, they weren't able to know how to apply it, right? And the best way to learn how to apply it is through an internship or through a real-time project. And internships are available from different companies, but one thing that we clearly saw, that it was very difficult for a student to get an internship. The ratio in India currently is every internship, there are 5,000 students applying for this. And this is across all streams, right? So there are students who are applying for internships, but are these internships available everywhere? No. You have about just 4 or 5 metro cities that these internships are available, whereas 80% of the higher education enrollments, students who are studying their graduation, post-graduation, are outside of these cities. So there was clearly a problem with being able to find an internship, and even if you do find it, whether you can access it, right? Um, so I just very quickly wanted to talk to you about how we decided to solve this problem. We decided to solve this problem through the process of what we call an experience curve. So adding you're obviously studying a lot of concepts in college. You are learning definitions. You are able to explain through an example, but the best way to really know how to apply it, how do you apply it, not just in any context, but in the context of a particular company, is through an experience curve. And this is where I said, I hope whatever you take back from today's presentation, please value any experience you are going through. So we believe that the learning curve that you gain from colleges with the experience curve that Mentormind can provide, we would be supercharging a student's CV. So the second they graduate, they would have built the kind of skills that companies are looking for, and set those students apart, right? So Mentormind basically is an online platform that helps college students gain work experience through mentored virtual work experience projects called mentornships. So this is the term that we've coined, mentornships, and we have about 159 of them across 10 job functions. You can think computer science, data science, all the way to HR, marketing, finance. Any of these fields you want to explore, you can try out a mentor. Each mentorship is certified by a company, and we have 100 plus corporate partners, corporate companies. We largely work with academic institutions, so we have about 110 academic institutions that we have partnered with over the last 4 years, and we've delivered these experiences to 20,000 students. So I'm sure you understand that a mentorship is, or what, it's a project, right? It's a work experience project. You get to perform this project as though you are probably in an internship. But what do students use this mentorship experience as? Number one is that they take it as their internship credit. We have a lot of students from our partner colleges who utilize the mentorship as internship. They utilize the work they've used through mentorship for when they're applying for interviews in their full-time roles. They showed us proof of work. The certificates are a part of CVs, and they also use the mentorship as their final year academic project. So very simply, every student can access any mentorship. They will perform mentorship, and as they perform the mentorship, they will create outputs. They will be mentored with form of one-on-ones with their mentor, or attend sessions on certain concepts with their mentor. And this work that they produce is feedback, just like what happens in the real world, in the corporate world. You receive feedback, and after a couple of rounds of feedback, if your work meets minimal criteria shared by the certifying organization, this is the certification that a student receives. And this certification is what a student can use as internship credit in their college, or whether they want to put it up in their CV and when they're applying for roles. So I just wanted to very quickly talk to you about the different fields in which we've built our mentorships. These are a few examples. And I'm sure later on, if you want to explore, you can go ahead. Um, the when you're working in a space of education, it is very important to say what is the outcome. And as an entrepreneur, that is something that is very important, especially when you're running your own company. What is the impact you are creating? What is the outcome that your solution is providing? So if our solution is the mentorships on MentorMind, what is the outcome? Is that has it contributed to the experience curve of the student? Has it helped them finally get the skills that companies are looking for? And the outcome here for us is, where are our mentors or the students who've taken up mentorships? Where are they today, right? And these are some of the companies that they're working at as a result of having done mentorships. I'm sure you will recognize some of these companies, but feel free to ask any questions. These are some of the companies that we have created or gotten our mentorships certified with. Again, I'm sure you will recognize some of these companies, but when you're exploring a experience project like like a mentorship, it's very important, we believe, to explore all fields. And which is why our model that we have developed, business model that we have developed over the past 4 years, which has gone through a lot of changes, has been that a student, if they want to explore HR, should know what HR is in a company like Supertails, which is about dogs, or in a company like Uber, which is a technology company and it's a ride sharing app, a company like Jupiter, which is in financial technology. So it's important to understand the domain and build skills in diverse industries, and that's one of the things that is reflected in our business model. We basically have for a given period of time, for 3 months, you can access how many ever mentorships, work on how many ever mentorships, 6 months, how many ever mentorships you want to do, and 12 months. So arriving at this business model was directly linked to how we wanted to bring about impact and the experience curve for our students. So with that, I just want to leave you with this. It is the greatest win for us when a student says, after going through a mentorship, when they say, oh, now I understand what happens in this field. And that for us is a big win. Of course, like I said, the outcome also matters, and where they get placed also says that companies value the skills they have gained from here. But personally, for me, I just want to end on a note that it's the stories like these that we have that reinforces that the solution we have set out to build for the gap that exists between when a student is in college and when they join a company, it reinforces that belief. So with that, I'm going to just stop, and of course,
Megha. So because we are running short of time, so I just have to interrupt before you, quickly taking the questions. But we will take up the questions once the speaker is done with the talk. So if you have time, so can you please wait for 10 more minutes so that we can conclude?
No problem.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we now have Miss Malika Valluru with us, the co-founder and MD of Radius EduTech. She did her blended learning specialization in social impact strategy from University of Pennsylvania. Her work is towards transforming the educational ecosystem by making quality education accessible and affordable across demographic groups through judicious use of technology. More than 1.5 million students across the globe use this platform, the Radius EduTech platforms, for skilling themselves and conducting competency-based assessments. She believes in the potential of National Education Policy of 2020 and is working on translating the policy into practice with academicians and schools. So over to you, Malika Valluru, to please share your insights, your journey of entrepreneurship, to get insights and kind of motivation for our students as well. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Ajmeri, for the introduction. Firstly, good afternoon, everybody. It's always a pleasure to be a part of any of the task sessions. So task has built a very important role in our journey, where we have built solutions for like lakhs of students initially for task, and that's how we scale to different organizations as well. And again, congratulations for the second edition of i4TS Innovation for Telangana State. We have posted.
Let me mention one thing: the platform that we are using now is of Radius Edutech, Samajika's platform. So thank you so much. Please carry on.
Pleasure is all ours. I do remember the webinars that we have hosted on our platform on different employment sectors, and also, in fact, in the COVID second wave, we also hosted something related to vaccination. I was very, very close in this initiatives. So coming to today's theme, education, employability, and the opportunities in the education sector. As we all know, NEP is now in a stage of, has moved from the stage of debate to implementation. So right from the school education, early education to higher education, there are many gaps that are to be addressed. So each problem, each gap is an opportunity for the youngsters who want to build solutions in education sector. In fact, we have seen from our experience that technology can address these gaps quite efficiently, because when you want a personalized learning for an Indian sector of this huge population, then technology is very important. In fact, in NEP document itself, the 66-page document, it mentions about digital technology and online more than 100 times. So this is going to stay. Then we have to accept it, and of course the product market fit so is very, very important. So if I build, say, a 3D solution for somebody in rural or tribal area, that doesn't work. So we need to take consider that solution should be built for everyone, which would give universal access and equity. So, talking about our journey, so we started as a hardware startup, where we were giving interactive panels, building it in our industry, and then, serving to the schools just in Hyderabad. So then hit the pandemic. From pandemic, what we have done is we have built solutions. We had a video conference prior to pandemic as well, but we moved it completely online, started digital classes, online classes, assessments. So almost for an year and a half, we have hosted an online schools of online classes of many schools, and in fact organizations like Task also. So here we had to take care of each and every nuances. Like, for example, if somebody is joining from a tribal area where I can't expect if 3G, 4G to have, they have a limited connectivity. With the limited connectivity also, they have to take an exam. So if there is a disconnection in the middle of the, during tenure of the exam, so we need to ensure that he will also be able to take part in that. Usually they are regarding to employment. So the first level of placements assessments were happening on our platform. So what we have done is we made sure that they have internet in the beginning and end of the exam. So in the rest of the time, if you're not connected well, also you can take the exam as smoothly, as seamlessly as students in Hyderabad. So that's one solution we worked very hard to build. And also another solution is for OMR scanning. So not everybody would have a mobile device when it comes to schools. And so we have built an OMR based scanning application for teachers, where once they install it on the phones, they can use it to scan these solutions, scan the OMRs of the students. And this syncing of the data is as similar to taking a test on the computer. So if half of the class is taking on the computer or the tablets, and the rest of the half is taking it on an OMR sheet, the results will be synced to the cloud within seconds, and you'll have those reports in hand in an hour. So the teacher can, get the stats. It's a diagnostic test, and you can get the stats of each student's learning outcome. So in fact, NEP also says its major focus is on learning outcomes. Instead of having the year-end exams, they now focus on having continuous evaluation. So, and also they have shifted, they want to shift the current education from the rod-based learning to real learning, where competency is a very important, plays an important role. So just to make it simple, competency is like to know how photosynthesis is done is knowledge, and to understand it and place the plant in the outdoors where you have sunlight is competence. So the shift is towards that. And many other sectors like SEL, social emotional learning assessments, and psychometric tests, online counseling, and then coding right from the schools, AI in the higher, not just higher education, but also from high school. So they're introducing, and also 21st century skills to be built on critical thinking, creativity, communication. Also focus on life skills. So there are many arenas where we need solutions. So for the young entrepreneurs, this is a great opportunity if you're interested to build something of passion in any of these areas. So because the ecosystem itself is very huge. So the number of institutions, be it CBSE, ICSE, or state schools, governments, higher education, engineering colleges, and also in fact, if it comes to personalized learning in arts, sports, everything, you have a huge opportunity opened up. So, it's not like only a Byju's can exist. There are many other companies who are going to come up and create their own impact. So education is the only sector where, along with, of course, the financial viability and how you run, your revenue model, this is also important. Also with that, there is an impact that we are going to create. So, I have chosen education because it's, I'm passionate about it since my college days. We were working with few NGOs and then also with few institutions to train the students. But later, once I joined the course at University of Pennsylvania, I have seen people from my colleagues working in Africa and Southern America, South America, working on many education ideas which have shown impact. So for them, at least like impacting 40 to 50 students is like huge impact. And then after coming back in this 4 years of my journey, so impacting millions of students, in fact, now 1.5 million of students, not just in India, but also in Middle East, using our solution are, the work of the teachers, the work of the parents, the work of the school education institutions is so simplified once they are digitally transformed using this technology solutions. And there is like there is a huge scope for these kind of solutions. So again, every institution want their customized solution. Like some of them want a hybrid model, some of them an offline model or completely online model. So when it comes to building these solutions, not just one institution is going to build all this. So many more companies which are into, I think, most of them also having a tech expertise would play a huge role in this. The great thing about the current situation is, unlike our scenario when we passed out of colleges, we didn't have this ecosystem around us. So be it i4TS or like T-Hub, V-Hub, there is a supportive ecosystem now for the students, right? If they want to start something of their own as a fresher, they have mentoring. So this mentorship is a major differentiator in the success, or in the journey of the startups, because if with the right mentor, you can easily come to a conclusion of product market fit. Of course, you need to do a pilot in few good institutions as well. So this opportunity to create impact using tech is I mean, it's not limited to certain sectors. So there is an opportunity for many other students, many other startups, many other entrepreneurs is here. So and I think there is I mean, the ecosystem is going to let many other people come in and experience this thing. So thank you for this opportunity. I mean, we are also ready to mentor any of these students of task.
Yeah, sure. And I think Okta is also a startup of VHub. Is that right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So thank you, Malika. So we will just quickly take in the questions that are there from the students. So I
Sure.
think Ms. Megha is also available for us. So we will just take in few questions.
Yeah, of course.
Before we wind up the session.
Thank
so
you.
one question is to Ms. Malika. Can you please share about your Ikigai? Okay. So today we spoke about the Ikigai, the Japanese term that stands for, yeah, you are right. So, what is your Ikigai to start up this company of yours?
Oh yeah, I mean, my so I mean, as I told you, I was I mean, interested since I was in teens in doing something in education sector, but that I mean, that passion just after school or after my work has become, we wanted to do it full scale because I visited few museums in US when I was there while studying, and then I have seen these labs where they had like every community over there, or in fact every city had huge science I mean, science simulation kind of experiments, museums. A lot of work is done for driving enthusiasm in STEM courses. And for, I mean, in fact, for women also, there is a huge appreciation when you're into STEM courses. But when I come back to India, and when I see here, that's not that prevalent here. So I thought maybe having a simulation lab at school level would be helpful. So we started with manufacturing our interactive boards. Then we moved that to online. So I mean, I felt that we need more access. We need access to these kind of resources, so on scale.
Sometimes you need and that's where the ideas develop.
Yes.
From the people. Thank you.
Yeah,
So much.
Washington Museum of Science. In fact, in Hyderabad also recently we had an event called ISF at HPS. That was a beautiful program where Hyderabad is hosting it for first time.
Thank you. There is one more question. How can one identify whether a person can be a successful entrepreneur or not? Ms. Megha, if you could answer this question, please.
Absolutely. There are two things that you should always think about. In entrepreneurship, failure is very high, but if you can learn from any failure that you have, then that's definitely one contributing characteristic of an entrepreneur. They say that you never fail, you just have to pivot the business model or your company or your product or anything, right? Second is, before you embark on taking your product to the market, whether you are 19 years old or you are 55 years old, that's the beauty of the world we live in. Always know your customers' needs. If you are able to identify a product that solves a clear problem that a customer has, then they're willing to pay you. So that's the product market fit that ma'am was also talking about. And if you can identify your product market fit through a lot of iteration, through trying your product with constantly getting feedback of your customers, then that will for sure lead you to the right product, to the right customer, to the right business model. So something on the personality side and something on the technical side. Always learn from your customers and really understand what is your product helping them gain and what pains are they relieving. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. There's one more. Is education key to employment? What is the role of education in employment? So anyone who could, can take it up. Or both of you can share your views on this, because this is a question that basically majority of us have, because there are people who are not educated but still have entered into entrepreneurship and all. Yeah, they find their own employment. So how do you address this?
Ma'am
Uh,
first.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, education is not just for employment now, because now people are thinking beyond it. Now, whenever I attend a few sessions which students are the panelists, they're thinking much more beyond the employment. They're looking on building their solutions for social impact. In fact, they're like, no, I want to do something in sustainability. I want to do something for, like the environment. So they're quite informed. So I think education is going to give you that, it'll open you that world of learning, what you want to know, what you want to do. It's not just about employment. It's in which sector do you want, if you want to be an employee or you want to work, which sector do you want to work for? So even to identify that, to know yourself, education is very, very important. So I always vote that if you want to work as a part-time student, if you want to take fun in that as well, but please finish your graduation and then you can start something of your own. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, over to you, Megha.
Thank you, ma'am. I definitely agree. Education, it has so many forms today. I mean, when I was in college, if I needed to know how to do something, YouTube was not there. Actually, it became a learning tool now as well. But at the same time, the formal education that we have, the courses, the degrees that we have, however long they are, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, the process that they have laid out on how to start from basics, to understand your basics, and then really build on those basics theoretically, I think definitely does help. But having said that, I think education, basically at the end of it, you need to get those skills. So understand your theory, apply it in whatever form you can. But if at the end of the day, whatever degree, whatever you're studying, whatever form of education you are receiving, as long as it leads you to few skills in the field of your interest, then it is definitely helpful. But education's taken so many forms today, so it's your choice to decide how to take that, how to gain skills from the form that you have. Yeah.
And most importantly, what are the different aspects in which you can gain more and more knowledge apart from just being restricted to the college education? That's more important to add on. Yeah, thank you so much. It was good interacting with you guys, and it was really helpful to get more insights. And it was an inspiring and motivational experience we had hearing your stories. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again. So this is to the end. So thank you again. Thank you, Balu, Sandeep, and the team from Headed High. Thank you so much for your time. And I know there were few of the technical glitches and few delays happening, but you were all cooperative enough to understand and support us. Thank you, and we look forward to meet you some other time. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Students, please look into your chat box. We have posted the assignment links and the feedback link for today's session. Please share your assignments in this link. I understand there was a delay in receiving the assignment link for the last session, so we don't want that to happen this time. So that's why we are sharing the assignment link and the feedback link in the chat itself. Hope you can all see this. So thank you so much. Hope to see you again next week. So be with us, hold on to us for the next session, which is on 1st March. On the thematic area improving access, and we will be talking on the opportunities for generating ideas. Thank you one and all. Stay safe, stay healthy, all the best. Hope to meet you all again next week. Thank you, Ms. Megha and Ms. Valika, and of course Ms. Gauri, who left because her time. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great. Thank you, Malika. Students, please go through the link that is there in the chat option. There is a feedback link, there is an assignment link. Please share your assignments, please share your feedbacks, any problem that you face so that we can take care of it in our next sessions so that we can make this more interactive and more understandable. Hope you're all there. Shiva says thank you. Lata, okay. All right. Hope you all will get this link. We will also send these links to your emails. Please keep checking your emails for our communication, and we will soon get in touch with you through our app, which will be more easier to access you and update you on our further action items. So for now, please support us with these things, and you can always share your queries and all on inquiry.task@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you, Swati, Sandhya. Thank you for sharing your uh, messages with us. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great evening ahead. Bye-bye.
Brainstorming about like what is your perception of waste in your surrounding. You can write down what are the waste which you see around your surroundings.
Yeah. Vineet, can I get the responses?
Yeah, okay.
So you have to write down in the chat box when I say that what are the waste which are around your surroundings. So write the names of that. Till we are waiting for the responses to come from Mr. Vineet. So before we start our journey of EMP and we get into the ideation sessions, I am asking you when I say waste and what are the waste which is around you, what will be your responses? Vineet, hello.
Hello, yeah. I shared it in public chat.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Till we get the responses and the technical glitches worked out, let us see. So I will look forward to your responses. I will see to those responses, and let us begin seeing a very inspirational video, and let us again rethink what is waste around our surrounding. I think I'm sure that you are going to enjoy this video, and we'll start. We can start the video. Voice is not coming actually, Vinit bhai.
India produces tons of flower waste every day. But now, one company is giving a second life to these sacred flowers, collecting more than 12 tons of them from temples and transforming them into handmade incense sticks. But can this blossoming startup make an impact on India's flower waste problem? We visited the headquarters of Fool in Kanpur to find out.
It all starts in bustling wholesale markets like the one in Shiva.